Welcome back to Tom's Garage again. Yay! Woo-wee. It's another generator. Look at there, another one. Haha. Power Pro by Wind Power. 5500. Yep, they said it's been sitting for 4 years with fuel in it. I took a peek at it. It didn't look like it was too awful rusty or anything. It's just really very, very stale. Let's take a look at the inside of this fuel tank. Now that we've gotten some good lighting in here, let me really take a good gander at it. Ooh, took everything I had to drag it up on this table. Ew. You can see it's got some varnish on there. We'll get that cleaned off on the wire wheel. My biggest concern, though, is the carburetor, of course, but it's been sitting with the fuel valve turned off, which is good, which I'm glad of that, but I don't know what the bowl is going to look like. You got some varnish crystals in the bottom of that. Let's grab a flash of that. Yeah, that's pretty clean in there. Okay, it's just some stale fuel. Okay. By golly, I'll take that. I will take that. All right, let's get it in the air and get it draining. Okay, we're gonna get this fuel line taken off here, get it draining. It didn't look like it had a whole lot in there. Yep. All that oil ran out of the air filter. That's where that come from. They put a little oil in them air filters, but over time all that oil will settle and you pull it off and you think, oh God, it's leaking from somewhere, but it's not. It's not. Okay, let's get that thing pulled off. Get the front air filter housing pulled off. That way we can get to the fuel line back there where it connects. Yep. Let's see, what exactly is this? That is some kind of diaphragm. Let me lower the camera a little bit. That appears to be some kind of diaphragm that controls the idle or the running speed. Okay, I believe you. Yep, actually, let's see, where does that go to? That goes crankcase vent. It goes right into that block. Must have something to do with vacuum. Comes around, hooks in there, and it operates that. Looks like it operates the choke, not the. Okay. Maybe that unchokes it if it's hot and you cut it off, I guess. I don't know. Well, it's got a manual choke right here, but not exactly. Okay, when you choke it, it closes this diaphragm somehow or another, and it, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just a mechanic. All right, let's get that cover pulled off there. Quit messing around. Quit messing around, Dobby. That job takes 25 minutes. Get these nuts off of here. That was wedged in there. Come out of there. My extension. Have yourself a little extension. Don't know why I keep grabbing this big old long extension. I just got used to using it all the time. Whew. I might have to end up closing that door and turning the heater on. It is cold in here. That thermometer says it's about 44 degrees and I got a little breeze outside. Come here, Nut. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's all the nuts. Oh, I know we can get this off. Yeah. Let's see, we got a nut on the back side. Let me grab. I can probably get this in there. You got one nut on the back side of this stud right here. Wrong socket. All right, there's that. Get this one off. Shivering cold. So we gotta pull that crankcase vent hose out of the way. Okay. Now we can pull this out of the valve cover. Let's get this out of the way. Pull that out. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's see, let's get this gasket out of the way. Come off there without getting hurt, Mr. Gasket. Break loose, there you go. Okay, we'll find somewhere to lay this. That goes on right after the cover. Now let's see what we got here. If that's a vacuum line, it sure is cracked. We'll have to replace that. Let's see, let me take a good look at how this thing is put together. Okay. Let's see, the choke lever comes around. It goes behind that stud, in between that and that. And it comes and stops there. So this thing needs to all come off as one piece. Let me get this hose here unhooked. We've probably got room just to cut it right there and reconnect it. See how it's split? Okay, that goes down through there like that. We'll unhook it from there. All right. So all we gotta do is put it back on and make sure that goes back in that little hole. Okay. Okay, fuel is off. Grab a pair of pliers. Break the traction on that. That should pull. Let me go ahead and grab a pan in case it dribbles. Grab us a bucket. We'll just slide this stuff here off in case it falls off. We'll grommet it there. Okay, now we'll turn it on. Nothing's coming. There it goes. Ooh, boy, look at that. That's like syrup. We'll just let that drain. Okay, we'll get the throttle linkage unhooked without bending it up and hurting it. There we go. A little spring off of it. We're gonna have to take this off. Ew, got it on my skin. good. And I got this bucket right in my way. Get that spring out of the way. All right, we got to get these 2 screws out, and this will pull out. Find somewhere to set it. Let's see if I can reach it. Oh God, look at the nastiness coming out of there. Golly. Woo! See if I can reach a screwdriver without having to let go of that. There we go. Golly, that's tight. Oh, that is tight, tight. There we go, we got one. May have to take the pliers and get a hold of the head of that screw on that side there and break it loose. Don't drop that in the fuel. Ugh, that is way tight. Really can't get nothing on it. Golly. Grab my vice grips. Well, the problem is I can't lay this thing down. God, look at that. All in my fingers. There we go, we got it loose. Whew. Boy, I've never seen one do that before. That's some nasty, nasty stuff. All that old fuel sitting in that bowl for those 4 years. Woo! Let's grab our favorite carburetor cleaning pan. Yay! We're gonna have to let this thing soak overnight. Uh-oh. Man. All right. Looks like the fuel tank is done draining. Let me get a piece of wood. I'm going to tilt this thing forward. All of it runs towards the front. Block of wood. Oh, God, this thing's too heavy. Ooh. All right. I'm going to take the petcock off of it, the fuel valve, grab another pan. Let's see, I can hold that one under there. I want to see what kind of shape that screen is in. You can't really see it from the fuel cap side. Ooh, this is some nasty stuff. Yeah, there we go. That's the kind of stuff that gets on your skin and you just smell it for days. Yuck. Stuff this rag up in there somehow or another. Let that rag catch all of it. Whew. Yeah, the screen and everything looks good. Blow it out and clean it real good. I need to try to get that bowl off there, but I don't think I'm gonna try. I'll just, with the fuel on, I'll just blow back through it. Yeah, let's do that. If I can hit the hole because I'm shivering so bad. I need to try to conserve my carburetor cleaner. I ain't been able to find none at Walmart lately. I don't want to go to the auto parts store. It's too expensive there. Oh yeah, got good flow. All right. Okay, I think what I'm going to do now, let's lower the table, take another peek inside that tank now that it's empty. All right, let's see what we're looking like in there. Yeah, we're gonna give it a good flushing. I can see some little particles in there. It needs a good swishing. So let's swish it. Let's see, let me take this block up from under the back of it. Oh, dang, that's heavy. I might have to hold my finger over it. Grab a gas can. You know, I could, and I may just pull that tank off. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. It's just 4 little screws here, nuts. Yeah, let's do that. That way we can take it outside. That's what we'll do. We'll just pop these bolts out. Take the tank off. Give me my washer. There you go. Whew, almost fell in the bucket. Let's gather up the hardware. Is it glued? Somebody has taken auto parts store door trim and stuck on there. Huh. Careful not to get cut. Okay, let's see what we're going to do here. I'm going to take that bucket right there. Let's raise this table back up. Pour gas in, just let it run right into this bucket in the floor. Grab a pump. we'll use gas to clean the gas tank with. I think it just needs a good rinse. I'm just worried about that carburetor. Let's see. Let me hold my finger over this. And aim for the bucket down there. Let's set the camera over here. God, I'm trying to do this with one hand. Okay. Sounds like me on a Saturday morning. Yay! Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think that fuel tank's got a enlarged prostate. Take a block of wood, just kind of prop up the back of it. And we'll just let that kind of dribble dry. Then I'm gonna take it outside and blow air in it real good and get that blowed out and cleaned. Okay, moving over to the carburetor. Moving on over. Let's get this carburetor taken apart. Man, that is going to be some nasty goo in there. What is that, a 14 millimeter, 9/16? Can't get the wrench on it real good. I have to use a socket. Okay. Well, yeah, that's nasty. Ew. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Got to remember this little drain plug right there's got to go 180 degrees away from the fuel inlet. So come on, let go. Hope that bowl gasket ain't gonna be hurt. Let go. Take a chance on knocking a hole in that thing. And grab my rubber hammer. Well, are you going to let go for me? Or do I got to keep beating your brains out? Well, that thing's glued on there pretty good. I got all the, ain't nothing else holding it. We're going to have to end up getting another bowl gasket. I can just feel it. Man, I ain't never had to fight for one like this before. Kind of hurting my hand a little bit. You don't break it nowhere. Oh, get that on there. Yeah. There we go. It finally let go. Ooh, look at the goo in there. Yeah, this carburetor's going to take a bath overnight. I need to get that O-ring out of there somehow or another. And that needle is stuck, of course. There we go. It come out. Good. I'm going to let it soak overnight before I ever even attempt to try to get that jet and emulsion tube out of there. But I am not going to put it in that and let it soak with this O-ring because it will destroy it. And I don't think I'm going to have any luck getting that thing out without hurting it. Wow. That O-ring is tough. Tough stuff. Nope. We are not getting that O-ring off. I'm just going to put it in there with it in there. If it hurts it, we'll get a new one. This is I don't see no particular model numbers. That's it right there. Make sure I get that on camera in case that cleaning vat lops some numbers out. It says 140 right there. I don't know what that means. Other than that, the rest of the carburetor looks good and clean. Uh-oh. Golly, boy, I tell you, it's money season. Whew, just got bum rushed by some customers. Girl, let's get this thing soaking. Let's get it soaking. Well, let's hope this thing don't hurt it. Okay. Good night. We'll set this over here somewhere. We'll set it over there. Okay. Now what we'll do, that's like 2-stroke oil mix or something. That's weird. Okay. And we'll take this gas can over here, this gas tank, blow it out real good with the air hose. I'm not going to put this fuel tank back on yet because it'll be so much easier to put the carburetor and stuff back together without this in the way. Angelica's blower. All right. All right, when I come back, it'll be in the morning and that carburetor will be nice and clean. We can get it apart and clean it. Put the fuel tank back on, then we'll change the oil, of course, and do some other stuff. Y'all hang with. All right, it is the next day. I did let this thing soak for just about 3 hours. I didn't want to hurt that O-ring. But it seemed to have come pretty clean. I got that jet out and that emulsion tube and cleaned it. I went through it and sprayed it. And, okay. She seems to be good. She seems to be in good shape, come nice and clean. All right. All right. I'm not putting that tank back on it just yet. I'm gonna use this auxiliary little fuel tank there. Okay. Get some spray, get a little pan. I need to clean that anti-backfire valve here. Make sure this thing here is loosened up. Felt kind of sticky. All right. It's nice and loose. Okay, we'll start putting this thing back together. Well, gotta put that on first. I can go just like that. Let me grab the screws. Yeah, thank goodness the fuel valve was turned off. The only thing really that was affected on this carburetor was the bottom of the bowl. Everything else was pretty clean. So we caught this thing right before it was going to do any major damage. Got lucky. Yeah, make sure you get it good and tight. Yeah. Well, that needs to go under there. Gotta find the hole. I know you got a hole in it. There it is. Hook the spring back up. Make sure nothing is bound up. Let me lower the camera. Let you get a good look. Grab my flashlight. Boom. Okay, now for these pieces. I may wait and put this on last. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on now because I can still get to the fuel inlet, I believe. Yeah, I got access to it. Okay, now that is back how it was supposed to be. Okay. Grab a couple of nuts. We'll just put the nuts on it for now. Okay, I'm gonna grab a 10mm socket. Okay. It looks to me like there's a little cut and that vacuum line right there. So I'm going to snip it off right behind that. I believe we've still got plenty to go. Plenty to go. Just cut it off right there. Okay. Just like that. Let's see, let me tighten down this fuel tank. I believe that'll hold just swimmingly. Okay. Now we'll make sure we got enough hose to reach the carburetor. I believe we do. Now this hose is slightly too big, which is okay for now, just temporary. It should be a 3/16 fuel line. This is a 1/4, so we may get some drippage, but it's on there. All right, let me go get some fuel, and we'll put some fuel in it. Yeah, the last thing I'll do is put the fuel tank back on there and button it up. Let me grab my little fuel pump here. Okay. I got the fuel valve turned off. Turn it on, let the bowl be filling. Oh, about got too much in there. Okay, let me put the cap back on that. Got to remind myself I haven't checked the oil on this thing yet. I haven't. So let's do that now. Let's grab a rag here. Okay, fuel's on. We'll let that be filling so we can check for leaks. Let me check the oil. Oop. That oil is full of gas. I can smell it. I can smell it, and it's running out. So that needle has bypassed because the needle was stuck, remember? Yep, so we're gonna have to get this oil out of here. Let me turn this fuel valve off. And I am going to have to get this thing up off the ground so we can get a pan under it. So we can drain it. Ooh, it's gonna be easier said than done. Ooh, my shoulder's already hurting. Let me lower the table a little bit. believe that's high enough for us to get a pan on there, but I hope we can get a big enough pan. That thing is slap full. Looks like a 17 millimeter. Let's find out what size that is. It is. Yeah. Okay. Whew, that's some nasty stuff. We'll have to drain some, put the plug back in it, and dump that bucket. So I'm leaving that. I'm leaving this on there. I don't want it to come out too fast, but you know it will. Look how watery that is. That's just full of old stale gas. Wow. Ooh, the smell of that stuff. All right, let me put this back in there because it's getting full. Let me hit pause. I'll go dump it. Let me make a mess. Okay. I got this thing too full to be able to pour in that jug over there, so I'm going to pour it in this bigger bucket. Look at that. That's supposed to be motor oil. Golly. Ooh, this stuff stinks. She's almost empty now. Boom. All right, let me plug it back up here. Let's dump it. What a mess. All right, while that finishes dribbling, let me hit pause again. I got to go fill my oaky jug. I didn't fill it last time I used it, so we'll let that dribble for a few, and we'll be back and we'll put some oil in it. Okay, she's just a little bit done dribbling. Puff a little bit of air in it. Okay. Okay. That's pretty good. Pretty good. It says oil fill and dipstick. Capacity is 37 ounces. To add oil, unscrew the cap, fill to the bottom lip with 10W30. I guess that's the bottom right there, the bottom of the threads. All right, let's get this stuff here out of the way. Ooh, nasty stuff. I hear somebody talking out there. Y'all hush up, I'm trying to film a video. That's about a half a quart. Let's see where we're at here. Keep on going. How many quarts? How many ounces in a quart? 16? 32 ounces in a quart? 16 ounces? I forget. Another 16 ounces in a pound. How many ounces are in a quart? A little more. I gotta put something on the bottom of that. That thing is just loud. Wow. It's the strongest magnet I've ever seen. A little more. All right, that is just up on the thread, so that ought to be plenty. Plenty. That held exactly about a quart. Put about a quart in there. You can see the level right there, halfway up the threads on the bottom. Okay, that thing here's bent. Crooked. Okay. Turn the fuel back on. Plug in the spark plug. Okay, let's see. I need to get them off of this 4 blocks here. Ooh. Okay. All right, we got fresh oil. The fuel is on. I don't see no leaks. I was expecting a little dribble right here, but that's fine. All right, well. I don't have something put together correctly. Something ain't right. Something ain't right with the world today. Look out, boy. I had the choke pulled out when I put it back together. Let's see if that's done anything. Something still ain't right. That needs to be flipped around that direction. Yeah, there we go. Now when you pull it out, it'll choke. I had that little thing spun in the wrong direction there. Okay, give it a choke. And let's see, the fuel is on. She should have plenty of fuel in it. The switch is on. All right, let's see what we got. We got a runner. She runs good. I knew that surgeon would stop. Just wasn't getting enough fuel yet. Okay, now we will put it back together. Let's see, turn the fuel off. There's going to be some fuel left in this fuel line. Let's see, I need to, pan here, let it drain in this pan. Okay. Okay, now we'll take this fuel tank off. Oh. Set this out of the way somewhere. Ooh, boy, that thing stinks. Stinky little generator. All right, let me grab my little screwdriver and we're going to drain that bowl. Think that'll let us. I'll grab a little bit bigger screwdriver. If I can get it in there. Won't be able to get that in there. We may end up having to take that bowl off if it ain't gonna let me. I don't want to strip that. There we go. Just take it out. Let it drain, let it drain. I'm going to shoot a little puff of air in it where the fuel line connects. Make sure you get it all nice and dry. I'm going to shoot a little carb spray in there so it'll evaporate. Maybe. That's all right, I didn't want to do it for you anyway. Okay. There's a mosquito flying around in here. As cold as it is. Or maybe I'm just hallucinating. Okay, I believe that carburetor is nice and clean and dry. Put the little screw back in there. I'm not hallucinating, it was, but that's not a mosquito. What is that? Anyway. All right. Set this out of the way. Okay. All right. Now we'll put it back together. Put it back together. All right, get your little gasket on there. And let's see, let's go ahead and put the fuel tank on first. That way I can get the fuel line hooked up and get the petcock put back on it. Then we can put the covers and everything on it. Yeah, that sounds like a deal. That sounds like a kosher deal to me there, Pickle. All right, where's my little bolts? Put the bolts in here. Let me lower the table. Get that one started. All right. Let's see, that was an 8mm, I believe. Ooh, that's 9. One there, one there, one there, one there. I got the fuel cap pretty clean too. I just stuck it on a wire wheel. Got all that slack off there. I blew that out with an air hose. Tank is nice and dry and clean. Nice and dry and clean. Go ahead and get the pet cop put back on it. We got this nice and clean yesterday. Blew carpet cleaner through it and sprayed it and blew it out real good. So we'll screw this back together. That looks like a 19mm, but yeah. Let's grab the proper wrench. I don't like using that Japanese strip wrench. Now it's going to be a 21. Has anybody ever seen a 20mm? Yeah, I've got a 20mm wrench. I was about to say this. No, I don't have a 20mm. It goes from 19 to 21. I've never seen a 20mm wrench before. I'm curious if anybody else has. Well, it's going to be a 22. We'll just keep getting bigger and bigger. There, that's pretty tight. Thought I'd have to grab my channel locks to kind of hold it. Okay. We got this little grommet here. I don't know exactly. Well, that's not it. That's the cover. Let's see, that's going to go right in there. So we have to make sure we get this back in this little slot. I just know this thing is going to go flying across the shop. Okay, that's on there. Got to make sure we put that on there. All right, we got the gasket. Everything's good. Oh, yep. Can't forget to stick that back in the valve cover gasket. Valve cover. Stick to me. I'm gonna pull that back. I don't want to pull it out because that'll be a pain right there to get that back in. So just far enough to get to that nut. And we'll make sure we get this in the little bracket. Nuts. You got your nuts. Who is texting me? Oh, where's that other nut? This one goes on the back side where that stud's mounted right there. Just got to go inside that bracket right there. All right, now we'll come around here, shove that back in right there where it's supposed to be. Let's see. Nope, that was supposed to go through here, so now we're in a pickle. I'm gonna have to pull this out. Get that out of the way. Now we're gonna finish getting this back in there now. Okay, good, it went back in there without a fight. Yeah, perfect. Plug that back in. Good. Goody, goody. This is gonna be next. All right. Easy as plastic. This will be easy to cross thread here because I have to go in at an angle. Okay, there's that. Take a rag, squeeze out some of this oil. Looks like a slice of bread, don't it? Pumpernickel. All right, now for the carburetor. Okay, there's that. Leave that fuel valve turned off. Change the oil, clean the fuel tank, clean the carburetor, ran it, tested it. She seems to run good. Now we can present it back to the customer with this video. And we're done. All right, boys and girls, thanks for watching another thumbnail video. Little Power Pro by Win Power 5500 watt generator. Runs good. Saved it just in time before it started doing major damage to itself. All right, y'all be good, man. We'll catch y'all on the next one. I love y'all. Holler if you need me, and we will see y'all later.